What's up, Rockstars? In today's video, I want to tell you all about a great campaign that I have been looking at. This is the Fantastic Plants and Rocks Volume 2. It's by Print Your Monsters. It's on MyMiniFactory, not Kickstarter. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that and what's on offer and see if maybe it's a good fit for you. And we'll jump right into it. As always, I'd like to start out with a quick thank you to my YouTube members and patrons. It is through their financial support that I'm able to stay independent from the game development companies so that when I review them, you know that it's my honest opinion and not my wallet's opinion. Additionally, please note that this video in the detail view here is actually a sponsored detail video from MyMiniFactory. They wanted to kind of show off their Kickstarter stuff or I guess the crowdfunder stuff, my apologies, and just see some of the benefits of that for 3D printing specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and be talking about that as well. Alright, now before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that at any time you can go down to the description below and there is a link to the campaign with a special savings through this channel so you guys can save 5% on that. And when you look at the prices and you see what you're getting, that 5% is going to actually be quite a bit if you realize the margin that they're running here. But I think it's really because MyMiniFactory really wants to invest in this campaign because they really believe in what they can offer the 3D printing world when it comes to this crowdfunding campaign stuff. And so they're really wanting to kind of show it off to as many people as possible. So they're making this a screaming deal, and which just benefits you and me and all of us, of course. But so with that in mind, again, there is a link in the description below with the savings code there for you to enjoy should you choose. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, before we get into the details of the campaign, let's go and talk about MyMiniFactory and its version of this, right? I've shown you GameFound, I've shown you Kickstarter. I want to show you MyMiniFactory now, kind of how their pledge stuff works. There's a few others out there I might talk about in the future, but for now, this is just MyMiniFactory. And as you can see, kind of like GameFound, they have these nice little quick, where can I get all this info, and it'll take you there, which is kind of nice, again, to just navigate. But they also have a header up above where you can actually just go straight to pledges, which you can then pledge stuff to, or the updates or the comments and whatnot. So talking about this, and I might do a full video on just the benefits that they offer. So just a quick run through. You're going to get your files right away. So, in fact, there are some you can already get. So the moment you pledge, you actually get some you can work with. And then at the end, once it ends, you'll instantly have all the rest in your library on MyMiniFactory to be able to kind of download as you wish. I already talked about the navigation some. One of the nice things about this is you can actually go and just get an add-on on your own. So you'll see there are different prices. One's for backers. Now there's people who have a pledge. But even without a pledge, if all I want is a Volume 1 all-in pack, I can get this without actually pledging for the whole thing. So that's something that I don't think either of the other crowdfunding sites that I cover offer. So that's also really, really nice to be able to do that. The replies are actually really awesome. So they have very deep nested replies. You can see here's one that's 3 deep here. You can actually post images, right? So you can go ahead and actually in images, links. Here's a link here. Really, really nice comment system. Actually, I was quite impressed with, how modern it is compared to the other ones, right? I think that's actually really great. So that's kind of, I think, most of it. I guess the only other thing is that they're focused on just one thing, right? So like Kickstarter is for everything, whereas obviously MyMiniFactory is just focused on 3D printing and miniatures and terrain and all that kind of stuff. And so it very much directly impacts that industry and is focused on that. So the stuff like the instant STLs and all that is really, really great. For the Fantastic Plants and Rocks Volume 2, one thing to note before I get into everything is that they come in like solid, they come hollowed, they come as pre-supported, unsupported, anything you could want. I mean, they have like the whole shebang, which is quite nice. In fact, I'm going to show you some prints here soon. And all of these prints, I literally just loaded up, was able to print right off the bat. The supports worked great, which I think is really, really nice as well. So let's actually jump to the Volume 1, just so I can show you where this came from. This came from Kickstarter, right? As you can see, way up here, here's the fantastic plants and rocks, right? And if we go and actually look at everything, they had quite a bit. You're going to see this is familiar in the volume 2 as well, but they have different sized ones. Now, of course, it's 3D printing, so you can resize anything you want. And I actually did that, so I'll talk about that a little bit too. But you can see the detail level in the design. It's great that they do this kind of render color thing, just so you kind of see potentials. Here's mushrooms with like tree bark, because why not? I'm tempted to get this just for my Necrons. I think that's awesome. Again, lots of different options, lots of different terrain. They'll come in like this stylized base. I'm going to be talking about that in a minute as well. But a wide range of both rocks and plants. That's quotes in both because they're all sorts of different kind of stuff. Like this is technically like glaciers is how they're representing that. So that's not a rock or a plant, right? It's frozen water. This is also freaking cool. Love that one again for my Necrons. I think it'd be really, really sweet to have something like that. But you have Norse stuff, you have like jungle stuff, you have desert stuff, you have, ruin stuff, anything you could want, like barbaric tribes and stuff like that. If you're doing some D&D campaign, they scale things mostly to the 28 millimeter, but it's kind of an in between. It can be used for 32 as well. And again, you can always scale up, of course, as well, but it definitely supports 28, and that's kind of their base mark. But then, as you can see, things can get kind of large, and so large is large, right? Whether you're 28 or 32 millimeter miniatures, I think both work just fine. Anyway, there's a ton here. I mean, a ton. There's over 200 or almost 200 or around 200 STLs here. Because if you see, they're all unique sculpts, and you get 5 in each pack, right? So when you get the Egyptian ruins, it's actually 5 different STLs that you can use, and you can scale them all differently and whatnot. They got gears, they got giant, some whole bunch of stuff, right? I'm just going to show them printed. Okay, so that's volume 1. Okay, so let's go to volume 2 and see what they have here. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this. So the first thing that I want to do before I navigate is actually show you some of the prints. So like here is some of the terrain that you can get. This is again just a quick print that I did. This is at 150%, but they come in like a wide range of shapes and sizes. I got this for my Necrons, so that when I have these Necrons, they can kind of be right next to this kind of cool terrain stuff. And I think that's a great size at 150. I might make one like really large. I might make a whole bunch of small ones. I can do whatever. You'll also notice that I cut off the base. That was just a quick mesh mixer plane cut. So I can put it straight on the battlefield. It's because I'm using that for Warhammer, but you can use it for all sorts of different things. For instance, this is actually from one of the add-ons. You can see my Warhammer guy in there. And again, I got that, kind of Simba, Lion King outcropping there so that the sergeant can actually kind of be raised. So this can be used for like anything. I know some D&D players that would love this, or even to replace, maybe you're in Descent or some other board game and you want these giant spiders. I thought, by the way, that this sculpt here was the best spider sculpt I think I've ever seen. There's a spider sculpt in Bloodborne, the board game, that is just kind of hanging there. It's super plain. Compared to this is amazing. To the point where I might actually print one larger and use that instead of the Bloodborne mini, just because it's so much cooler. They have a lot of different terrain sets too available. I'll be talking about the add-ons there. You can kind of see the, this is just a random piece from a mausoleum. There's several pieces and, kind of a big gate area there, but, it's got skulls and stuff like that. And then these are actually from like an underwater boss, that I wasn't able to print in time for this video, but it looks incredible. As you can see, the detail level is quite impressive. These were printed at 0.03 millimeters. Just to kind of, I like to take the time. It's passive time anyway to print these things. So I like to just go ahead and have it take its time and print really nice, but not be obnoxious. Like I don't want it running for like a day. So I didn't do 0.01, but 0.03 for even the spider was actually 0.03 and came out fantastic. So really impressed with the sculpts there. Okay, let's go ahead and look at what is on offer. So we're going to go ahead and just take a browse over what they have. They even have like just grass sets, right? This would actually be really cool even for basing. If you were fine with a non-circular basing, I think that'd be awesome to do. Because you even get like the nice outcropping, stuff like that. But you can also put other things on this. You can make it, different things, objectives, or just putting a whole bunch of these around, with the flowers and stuff would be cool, but you get it with rocks as well. This is actually a free set for everyone. So again, you can follow that link and just grab this. If you are running a D&D campaign against some like barbarian kind of stuff, this is, perfectly fine with anything you want to do, within their huts and, all this other kind of stuff. And again, you can see kind of the scale to about a 28-ish millimeter miniature. Okay, so let's actually look at the whole sets here. They got, alien bulbs, and of course you can paint them as however you want. But they have literally pretty much everything you can think of, from like crazy mushrooms. They got, pumpkins. They got these cliffs. These look amazing. I think this would go great on maybe like kind of like a Martian landscape kind of thing. I'm thinking that'd be great. Here's some stalagmites, stalactites, whatever. Palm trees, more mushrooms. They have a lot of ocean stuff, which I was actually surprised. So if you are in an area near like the sea or something like that, there's a lot of stuff you could actually do here. Even if you went all the way underwater. I mean, there's some really cool stuff. These twisted trees are also, I think, awesome. It'd be great in like a wizard area, I feel. Again, desert stuff. I might actually use some of this just to add some more trees or variety in like a game of Hate or something like that. I think that'd be cool. These plants look incredible. Just tall grass if you need that. And we're going into the stretch goals. You can see some of the new stuff that they have here, which again, loud car, sorry about that, is quite great, whether you're going into caves, whether you're in some Egyptian area. These smooth stones look really cool. I felt there's exactly what I had here. So that's this stuff here, right? But again, I just cut the base off. One of the nice things about this is you can have that if you want it, but if you don't, you can get rid of it too. So I'm going to use these, but not in grass, right? They have talked about maybe in the future making them separate as well, and maybe they'd make it available there, maybe another campaign, I don't know. But with Mesh Mixer or something like that, you can just do a plane cut where literally you just click plane cut and you drag it to where you want it, which is at the, the base, and then you can cut it off and it makes a new STL of just the top. Or the top and bottom, you can keep them, it's whatever. But that's those, and as you can see, different shapes and varieties and designs and all that. And that's what each one is. There are no repeated sculpts here, which is also really nice. I felt if you want a Minecraft world, then they got you covered. Even anthills. These actually I think look great as well. There's so many good things here. I was really surprised. Again, just by the detail quality too. It's crazy. Some cube trees. And these trees look great as well, I think. Okay. So let's actually talk about, some of the stuff now that you've seen kind of everything that's been unlocked and kind of what they're looking at and all of that. Okay, so they have some more stretch goals they're going to be doing, and I'll go and talk about those briefly. So they're going to have first of all, they have a painting competition, which I think is always great. I do that with my patrons almost every month, and love doing that as well. And people win like a mug or a hoodie or, all sorts of fun stuff there. And same here, they'll explain all the rules. They're going to have actually 2 more terrain packs that you're going to be able to unlock. And then they actually get to choose the different savings. So you could save on brush sets. You could save on the new MyMiniFactory resin, which maybe I can get some samples and actually review that for you guys. Let me know if you're interested in that. You can save on 3D printers. So, there's just some different, there's the resin stuff there. Some different savings that you can do to just be able to get things cheaper. Oh, and 3 months of MyMiniFactory Plus, which is also great. So you can save even more money, which is awesome. Then they have the add-ons. Now the add-ons are like what I got the spider from, or I got this terrain from, and they are impressive. Again, it was so hard to even pick what to print. You have these scorpions here. I love the fact that they have a dead, broken, damaged one. I think that's awesome. These skulls are actually separate in the set, so you could use these skulls literally in any campaign I've ever heard of for, D&D or a board game or anything like that. Even if you just printed these off and threw them on a board game, like the board map, just to add some variety and some character. I think that's awesome. So those are cool. You can see the different sets here. These, terrain floor pieces, by the way, are awesome as well. Love that. The buried columns and stuff like that. Some really cool stuff here. You get a little Stargate if you want. You can do all sorts of stuff there. These giant worms are so big that I have a Mars Pro or a Mars 2 Pro from Elegoo, and it has to be multiple pieces. I think it comes in 3 pieces to be able to fit this thing. So it's like the base, right? And then like the most of the body and then the head like down to here. Cause it's just the build volume's too big. You could obviously, again, scale them. They're STL, but like these are not small. These are big. You'll notice you might recognize that from, if I don't make him fall off, he's not glued on yet. From this, right? So that's where I got that. I just cut off the base there and I was able to use that as a very cool, terrain. I'm also going to actually print another one, but cut it completely flat. So it just adds texture onto, but not like angled up, right? So you could cut it along the angle there and do that. Same with this. This might be kind of interesting to, kind of use as well. Or just use this as terrain even. Like there's a lot of different options. Here you can see the different pieces, right, that these might come in. And, they actually support FDM printing as well, especially for these large things here. There's that underwater creature I was talking about. You'll recognize some of these tentacles. Again, really, really, really great detail on all of these. These rocks are amazing. In fact, I wanted to print this for you, but I just couldn't quite get it printed in time. I apologize for that. You have the Bones Abomination. And by the way, look at the prices here. These are like $11. $11. Now, if you don't want to back the campaign, you can still get it for like $18, which for these, like, again, fantastic price. Anyway, especially with all the pieces you get, right? Like here, okay, so it's $11 for backers, right? I mean, so really, really cheap. And of course you get this, monster, but then see, there's a column that I did, but you get this little mollism. I can't say the word right now. Anyway, you get these different terrain pieces that you can use and print out and whatnot, which again is also awesome. I plan on at least getting a few more of these, bone things because I think they're really cool. Here's the giant spider pack. You can see here's the one that I printed. You can see how he's like crawling out of the gate. That is so awesome. You can actually print that out. There are 3 different spiders here. And then of course, all this webbing. The fact that this webbing right here is separate, right? See right here. So the webbing alone, the fact that that's sculpted, I think is also super cool. Very smart idea, I feel. And so you can really kind of, get crafty here. You have this different stuff where it's broken down more and more and spiders are coming out and the separate egg sacs and whatnot. These temple tiles here with the skulls, again, you could use all over the place. I could see this being used in Conan and all sorts of other things. Super cool there. And again, one of the best sculpted spiders I've ever seen in my life. Like like I held it like this and my wife couldn't handle it. She was like, no, we need to get rid of that thing. So, and I can understand that. Here's a swamp creature. Again, a huge swamp creature. Again, massive. Comes with like this ship that's already been taken over. If you're in the jungles and stuff, you get a bridge. Printing multiple bridges, I think, would be awesome. You get this like cool swamp tile area, point of interest, which I think is neat. And then this guy. Now, this guy's a little bit more at $17, but he is massive. He's on 2 different bases. And he is huge. He comes in many different pieces because this jungle darkness mother, again, massive. This one I wasn't even going to try and print in time. This is not going to happen. I hope to print it out and show you though, because I think holding a mini like this would just be awesome and having this big old monster. Super duper cool. Okay, so that's all the add-ons and stuff you can do. Let's actually go ahead and look at the pledges. So we're going to click on pledges and you see how quick that was? I love that. Okay, so you have the plants and rocks. This is for $21 and it includes all the stretch goals and the plants and rocks. You can click here and it even shows what is the core set, the stretch goals, and then the free item that you get as well, right? Now that is actually almost 200 STL files before they unlock the next 2 terrain sets. So if they unlock more, it'll be even more. But $21 for almost 200 STLs, that's huge. That's big, right? Then they have the plants and rocks all in for $75. Now this includes 11 products, because if you click on this, you get this majestic tree thing, which is cool. It's an early release for the competition. You also get the all of the monster sets. And like I said, these things are big, and there's a lot. You get all the different basing and the terrain and pretty much everything else that you could want, right? Like all of this, it's not just the spiders. It's the spiders plus all of this, right? Or it's not just the scorpions. It's the scorpions plus all of this. And then you also get the scorpions as well. So, and you know, the Stargate thing here, and you know, what Egyptian portal. So again, and the Mother Pack as well, and the Abomination. So a ton of stuff on that. That being said, you would want to get this if you didn't get, if you did get Volume 1. If you didn't get Volume 1, you might as well go the All in Plants and Rocks Volume 1. The reason I say that is because if you see the price difference, 75 to 89 is like nothing. Like it's not a whole lot, right? It's barely any more, and you get a ton more. Look at that. Volume 1 total, 270 plants and rocks. So you're getting way more, right? This is over 500 STLs for $89. A massive amount of stuff. I mean, the variety here. Look at the bamboo. I didn't even really see that one, but that one's cool. Love those sci-fi ones. The Volume 1 pack alone is just great. Like it really is. And then of course you still get all the big creatures. You could be printing for a long time with that. So that is huge. Now, I already went over some of the add-ons, so I'm not going to go over them again, but just know that again, if you're watching this, you're like, oh my gosh, I just need those spiders. Well, bam, you can get that for the $18 here and not have to back anything else. You're just out $18. And that's a great benefit of MyMiniFactory. I love that they allow you to do that. So that's awesome. Okay, so that is really all there is to it. There's a lot of stuff you can do for pretty much anything. I can think of countless ways to use this stuff, and I plan on using that. I'll be printing out more. Like this is just the start. This is just the start of my terrain and replacements and all that. There are so many SDLs here. It's insane. It really is. In fact, I'm going to be printing more of these. Again, some larger, some smaller, and we'll have the whole battlefield with this, stuff, and it just really, really cool stuff. Again, there is a link down below with the savings code. So all the prices I said, knock 5% off of that right off the bat, and that's for you guys through them. So thank you, MyMiniFactory, for allowing me to offer a savings code to all of you, and thank you guys for your time. I plan on covering more of these, just because I think it's really interesting to see these crowdfunding sites, or these sites that are for a specific industry, right? Not Kickstarter, that's for everything under the sun, but like this just helps 3D printing. So if you're a 3D printer, then MyMiniFactory is caring about you. Whereas if you're a board gamer and you need back on Kickstarter, well, Kickstarter only sort of cares about you, right? And so that's great to see, and it's great to see the investment and the fact that they can tie in stuff. So it's like the stretch goals get like a MyMiniFactory Plus subscription for a month, or the resin at a huge discount, or, whatever it might be. I think that's super cool that you can really double dip on there. So anyway, link down below on that. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will talk to you guys again very soon for my top 10 Kickstarters of all time. It's going to be a big one. I get giddy. I get pretty excited. You're going to want to see it for sure. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys again real soon.